I just want to show you the advantages of using ultraviolet curing resin, which I've only started using in the last couple of months. And the advantage is that it's quick. And here I've got a sample of wine glass tuff, which is very pumice rich, very porous, it's very light when you pick it up. And if I squirt some water on the surface of this rough sample, you can see the water gets sucked in by the porosity, a bit like a sponge. Last time I tried to make a thin section of this, I had real problems because of this porosity. That porosity had to be filled with heat curing resin, which took quite a lot of resin to do. And afterwards, I was always getting bubbles between the sample and the glass slide. So it had to be done a couple of times before I managed to get a thin section without any bubbles. However, using ultraviolet resin, I've got a sample here which has been sliced, and I've put a surface impregnation of resin on the surface and basically just rubbed it down to 600. And it's been on hot plate for the last half hour to drive off any moisture. And here I've got the ultraviolet resin, this Villa Rosa stuff, and I'm just going to squirt some onto the surface. It's quite viscous, so I'll just put some on the surface. Quite a liberal amount. And I've got a glass slide which has been cleaned in white spirit to make sure there's no grease. And I'm just going to place this on the slide and just push down equally to make sure there's no bubbles, and it's basically squirt out some of the excess resin, so it's a nice even layer. Then I'm going to get the ultraviolet light lamp, put that on for about, say, 20 seconds, and that should cure the ultraviolet resin. And it doesn't really give chance for any air in that sample to rise up and interfere with the resin as you would get on a hot plate. So ultraviolet resin is a really good medium to use if you've got awkward samples which can generate bubbles in the resin. I'll take that off now, and that's now fixed, and that could be treated like a normal thin section, rubbing it down to 30 microns. What I usually do, I flip it over because it's a bit tacky there, and just place the ultraviolet light for another 20 seconds on the other side to make sure all the resin, both sides of that sample, is fully cured.